Hello and welcome to another Checkpoint video. This time we're looking at Zombie Army 4. This is the new Zombie Army game by Rebellion, which is obviously gracing our front cover as well. Big shout out to Rebellion actually, because they've always been very supportive of Checkpoint magazine. So thank you very much for providing us with a decent cover for us to use on the magazine. Now, for those of you that don't know the kind of Rebellion games, the Sniper Elite games and the Zombie Army games and Strange Brigade, they're all, it's a difficult one to try to explain. They're all pretty much set in the same, with the same kind of background, the same kind of environment. Strange Brigade a little bit less so. It's the kind of roaring 20s, kind of exaggerated Indiana Jones type affair. But the reason I mentioned Strange Brigade is if you listen to the interview that we did with Ryan Baker, the creative director, there is a lot of crossovers between all of the games, specifically with Sniper Elite and with Zombie Army. Historically, Zombie Army has always had Carl Fairburn, who is the protagonist from the Sniper Elite games, as the protagonist in the Zombie Army games as well. The mechanics are still pretty much the same, but unlike the Sniper Elite franchise, you have more sandbox areas in the Zombie Army games. It's a huge shift from where they were with Zombie Army Trilogy and the previous Zombie Army games, which were corridor based. So you could only go down a specific way. But here, which you'll see later on during the video, you have these elements that we can see now, which are very corridor based, that push you in a certain way. You have the bullet time, which we can see as well. That's carried through from the Sniper Elite franchise as well. But they do open up into kind of bigger areas. And you don't have as much in the way of weapons as you did in Sniper Elite. You do, but you can upgrade and add elements to these weapons. So you can have an electrical or an explosive attachment to all of your weapons, which will then help you progress through the levels, and it'll also help you with challenges throughout the levels. What's interesting with Sniper Elite is the mastery of the weapons and being able to kind of level up the progression tree within Sniper Elite, which has always been quite interesting. They have brought some of this element now to Zombie Army for this version that we see here, and they have brought elements of the Strange Brigade stuff, for example, the traps that you may have seen if you've played Strange Brigade, that you use to kind of lure in the enemy and kind of use propellers from aircraft to strip them, or shocks or whatever. And there is the infamous shark as well, the zombie shark, which you would have seen with the promotion of Zombie Army 4, that you can utilise as a trap as well. But just for those of you wanting to know how the progression system works, you will find out a little bit later on. You actually roam the environment looking for collectibles. You also look for weapon upgrades, which you can get from leveling up or by finding in the areas. And there's also kind of these hands that run around that you can kind of shoot as well. That they're all collectibles, and actually they all help with your upgrading of your weapons. And each weapon has its own skill tree. You've also got perks that allow you to, for example, revive yourself if you get a second wind, in much the same way as Borderlands. So you shoot a zombie, kill it, you get your second wind. And there's an array of new weapons, there are an array of new weapons now available for you to use. Things like divine grenades, which we mentioned in the interview as well with Ryan Baker. These are grenades that allow you to cause more damage to the zombie, but it also feeds you back if you're within the kind of explosion circle of it, or the radius. It feeds you back health. There is a lot of depth to Zombie Army 4. Much more than you think through the first playthrough, and because of the way in which the progression works, which you'll have a look at a little bit later on, there are different ways to play the game. So there are different weapons that you can use, and there are different perks that you can use, and coupling them up with the weapons and the perks that you're using, coupling those things up, really makes for an interesting way to play the game. So the best thing about the Sniper Elite franchise, as I've always thought and as I've always found, is being able to play cooperatively. That's one of the greatest things about this game, and especially in the zombies mode. So in the zombie army, when I'm talking zombie mode, I mean the zombie army games. It's so much more fun when there are more of you. I mean, it's fine playing it on your own. There's no real issue, but it's just that kind of overwhelming feeling of success and satisfaction when you guys play together. It supports up to 4 players, which is fantastic, as you'd expect anyway. The items are not shared. However, the collectibles the items are shared, but the collectibles are not shared, other than the hand. Everything else you have to pick up on your own. Anyway, I started playing this game with our contributing editor Lee Abrahams, so I'm gonna just jump in and kind of comment on stuff as and when they happen. But we just thought it might be quite nice for you to listen to how Lee and I got through. We do apologise for any swearing. I have to kind of put that out there. It gets quite competitive between Lee and I. But Lee is probably one of the best gamers out there. Literally, his gamer score is just ridiculous, and he's played almost every game that you can think of. So there is a little bit of kind of back and forth between us. But anyway, without further ado, please do have a listen.
Maybe you could clear them out.
I swear these things get dumber every day. Stand aside.
Happy to
Stand aside. Whenever you're ready, just...
Oh, look at you go!
What's the next
You
one?
zombie
Double kill?
testicles, I saw that.
Did you? Don't blow up the crates, because I have a feeling we're going to need them.
Just killing zombies, Tamara. Killing zombies is wrong. I want to tell you. There's a long reload time.
Reloading.
No.
Ammo here. We need it, babes.
Good man. Got a sticker, whatever that means. Top tip, the explosions also attract zombies.
Oh, cool, okay. I don't think we need them now, do we?
Bear that in mind.
We're bare good,
Gonna
mate.
kill that
Bare
bear.
good.
Just shot a crow just for funsies. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, boy.
Oh. Kill 25 enemies with a rifle. Sweet. Reload. We've got a 4 times multiplier here going on, which is great. We've not cleared it yet. How have we not cleared this?
Tons of dudes.
There we go.
Is that everyone?
Yeah, that's everyone.
There more? Did it say we've done it?
It said challenge complete. Clear Radio Master Zombie. Oh, it's the Master as well. Oh, there he is. There's a guy up on the top there.
Sir,
Nice.
marksmanship, c'est magnifique.
C'est magnifique. Merci beaucoup. You see what I see? Yeah, you can.
And grab some ammo while I'm here.
Yeah, might as
I
well.
could walk into this wall.
Yeah, I mean, all that pillar.
This reminds me of Strange Brigade. Getting those vibes.
It is a very. It's kind of got that weird, but not. Oh, hold on. Why can't we get in here?
Not in the right. Locomotive lockdown.
Zombies cleared. 1 out of 4. Oh, it must be on the train cars then somewhere. Locomotive lockdown. Oh, it might be in the
it's
middle
just
there.
referring to the areas, man.
No,
Maybe
it's
we just
one-
got to
oh,
be
maybe
4
1
different
out of 4.
areas.
Okay,
Because we're in the train yard anyway, aren't we?
let's go down there.
Go see if there's somewhere else to tidy up here.
Hold on, there's a door in here. No, there's no door in here. Let's speak to another moron somewhere. There's an ammo box here, so presumably we'll have to do some kind of
Well, hey, we're getting out of here. You know what that means? No more cleanup duty.
God,
What?
Northern Irish accent.
You're not
is
loving
terrible.
these massively authentic accents?
Stands. What are we doing?
There's a little star over here.
Oh, I didn't mean to
Back
do
where
that.
we were. You upstend them.
I love how they've got a zombie rat in a cage, look. But the rat doesn't have to stay in there. It could get out at any given moment. Amazing. Oh, okay, we are clearing all of the zombies in the cages around here. Oh, well done. Where is this?
There were zombies still on that radio tower. That's where
Oh, was there? Oh, I see. Well done. Head through the medical bay. That's upstairs then.
No, the medical base that door you couldn't get through. No.
Yeah.
Ah, thank the heavens it works.
Right,
Oh,
then pick up
great.
Now
all the
that's done,
bandages, because I
report to
don't have
medical for a
anything.
quick checkup. Then we'll
There's
see
a
about
pack
getting
of
you to your
4
train.
medikits
Eh?
here, you monster. Help yourself, there's 8 of them.
If it isn't the best kill squad in all of Italy. I trust you are being careful out there, yeah?
This guy
Here,
better not be being
take
stuck
a
in.
med kit. Never know when you might need fixing up.
Thank you.
Don't know what that is.
Looks like ammo.
Actually, I think I did get slightly injured. I've done myself. There you go.
Yeah, I've healed myself as well. Right, come on in. In through this way. To the workshop. Get away from my crate! Oh, chapter
I'll
B.
never get it.
Is that it?
Was it, mate? Chapter, I expect the levels have more than one chapter on.
Allora,
Oh, was it
now
challenge we
comms
failed
are back
at?
up and running. It's time we got you out of here. Head to platform 5. There's a train
I'll
waiting
get
for you there.
75 explosive kills.
Affirmative. Thank you, Bruno.
So, just as a point of note here, once you've finished specific parts of the chapter, there's the upgrade kit that I was talking about. Once you finish certain parts of the chapter, you have to go back to a safe room. Like in most zombie games, you have to get back to a safe room. In this safe room, you can restock all of your ammo. You can go to the workbench, which I'm doing now, and you can upgrade your weapon of choice. The skill tree will show up. You can choose any weapon that you want, and then if you scroll across right bumper to the tab, you can see the different upgrades available to you. Obviously, the idea is to get them as to max out your weapon upgrades, so that then you can work on the mastery. And for those of you that have played the Sniper Elite games, you know what the mastery does. It just kind of gives you kind of extra kudos for the weapon itself as well. You can continue to upgrade all of your weapons as well, and you can also upgrade your meleeing as well. So you can choose, I think you're originally, you've got a stabby knifey thing, but there are loads of different ways in which you can upgrade that as well. You've got your skins, you've got charms, you've got reticles as well. So there's a lot of kind of depth to the customization for each weapon as well. And obviously, like I said before, combined with perks, it can really make a huge difference to the way that you are going through a certain level. or taking out a certain zombie type, for example. There's the perk that I chose, Second Chance, where if you shoot a zombie, you kill it, you kind of get respawned, not respawned, but you kind of lift up and you get a little bit of health to see you through. So there's some really good stuff in here, and then obviously once you've finished with the workbench, you can go back, as you can see here, stock up on weapons, stock up on ammo, and there's usually loads of like little bits and pieces like grenades and traps kicking around for you as well.
Another earthquake. They're becoming more frequent. That's the fourth today. Go on. You better get to that train before this whole damn place collapses.
Okay, there's nothing here. I'm gonna go upstairs and see if I can't shoot anybody. That's the wrong side. Okay, board the train on platform 5. Away the platform 5. Is there no map on here?
Sorry, I'm at shooting range.
Medkit here.
What are you doing?
I'm shooting zombies, man.
What a flippin' medal.
Yes. Did you just shoot the 2 things you weren't meant to at the front?
Yeah.
Reloading.
You are the worst.
We need to
Avoid
get on the train.
civilians.
Civilians? They shouldn't be there. Let's go. Hot diggity dog.
I found a supply crate.
I don't know where we're supposed to be boarding the blooming train. Oh, here.
You ruined it by shooting those civilians. You ruined it for me.
Ruined what? What were we trying
where
to
are
do?
you?
What were we trying to do?
Complete the shooting range, man.
Oh, is there a
Range.
Chivo for it?
Landmine here.
Well, I don't think it's achievable, but there's like a little prize room, so maybe it could have got us another upgrade or something.
Stop
I
complaining.
don't know. It's the mystery, Sam. The
Stop
mystery, Sam.
complaining.
The mystique. The mystique.
That's what they call me on Sundays.
Yeah. Ready. Let's get on the train. Well,
This does not look promising.
there's zombies on this train, man.
We're supposed to board
Oh,
the
that,
train.
how am I going to fix this? What a state!
That's it.
Careful, little boy.
Guess I'm on a roll.
Alright.
Attacking me. Oh, they're behind us. as well.
Oh, they're behind us
Somehow.
too. Focus somehow.
Supply crate there. Stay down.
38.
What the hell is going on?
Bruno, a train full of zombies just crashed through the wall. Not husks, real zombies. The station's under siege.
Let's get some ammo before
Stand
we...
up. No time to waste. Push forward through the station and get to that train. And look out for spiders as you go.
I'm low on ammo.
There's an ammo crate up here, just for the record.
Yeah, some down here as well.
Okay,
Goodness
let's go.
gracious, chaps.
Damn it, the station's a wreck. Bruno, we're taking the long way round. Back off!
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
Oh, for God's sake. It's quite sticky, actually.
There you are. Thank you.
What's that?
I'm in the train just past the signal house. But we can't move to the...
Controls.
So you just saw very briefly there the crate that had the attachment. It's an electrical attachment that allows you to pull out, to put onto your weapon of choice. And here is one of the boss zombies. He's a flamethrower. Obviously, unlike the Sniper Elite games where you have to zoom in and you have to have that setting to be able to see the explosive elements of the barrels, you can see that immediately on the Zombie Army games as well. The great thing is that once you've taken out these kind of bosses, you can then pick up their weapons. In this case, it's the flamethrower, and use them to really bulk up your multiplier. The ammo is restricted. You can't reload on that ammo, and you can probably see there's a bit of a glitch. I think it has to be kind of noted as well that when we were playing through this was just before the game's release, so there were a few bugs that have since been sorted since its launch. But yeah, you can see here the flamethrower being used for its maximum potential, and keeping that multiplier on the right hand side of the screen up is always really helpful, especially when you're inundated with zombies as we start getting. I feel you never really get totally inundated. This was one of my issues with Zombie Army 4, is that you never really felt like you were overrun by zombies, and it gets to the point, I think both of us get over 100 times multiply, which is fantastic, and it's a really satisfying thing when you get to that number. But actually, it wasn't because it was hard to get to that number. One of the things that restricted us really from getting to that number sooner was the fact that there weren't enough zombies to kind of crack on with. And obviously, as you increase with their multiplier, there we're at 46 now. Your reload time gets, you really. One of the things that you should really do is kind of speed up your perks. Another thing that you've just seen me do there is do a takedown, and you saw it's not very clear initially, but if you take down an enemy with a melee attack, you also get some of your health back too, and that can be really helpful in this game, because you don't really come across health packs much. You can come across health packs outside of the safe room by stomping on corpses of zombies. Different corpses will offer different things. Some will offer you ammo upgrades, some not upgrades, ammo refills. Some will offer you med packs, some will offer you grenades. So there is a if you are running short and you don't have an ammo box near you, it is always worth going around and seeing if you can stomp on a zombie's corpse.
Go. Get to safety. I'll see you on the other side.
I've got no shotgun secondary ammo. Oh, I do now.
Hurry up, come on!
So there's an area here to pick up. Oh, that would be nice. A quick neb. We go in that. No, can't go where that guy came from.
No, we go the way we came.
I'm on fire. Lol.
Come on, we wait for you, bold!
Oh. Oh. Poor zombie. He just wanted to be friends. Why can't we be friends? Because you're dead. I'm not.
Oh, there's Hitler.
How do you know
Mission
it's Hitler?
complete.
Look at the back of his head. Could be anyone. I could have been Hitler's angry brother. Tony Hitler.
Tony. Anthony Hitler. Couple of Chivos there.
An easier difficulty. Because there's only 2 of us.
So now we move on to the Horde mode.
No,
This is just a standard Horde mode that you'd expect, but it's actually really good fun. You get to choose the different maps that you have. The game mode is obviously Horde, and you can start wave 1, and if you progress through, you can choose different waves to start at. Obviously, the earlier levels are easier than the last, but as you progress through the Horde, you get different weapons and you unlock different parts of the map, which is actually quite good fun. So again, this is another one of those games that's best played with 2 players. As you can see here, we're behind a fence, and it gets pretty... In Horde, it does get pretty hectic because the areas are so tight in some places that it is really, really hard to kind of make a bit of a kind of a line through the zombies, especially when you don't have those shambling, slow-moving zombies, but you have the kind of the bosses, the commandants, and the ranged ones, and the kind of, you've got these big kind of heavy zombies that are in armor as well, armored zombies as well, which make it quite difficult to do. It is worth noting as well that you can put traps down in here and kind of pull people in. You start off with a pistol, and then as you progress through the level, you get more weapons and more traps to use. Obviously, bigger areas. You can see that the glowing canisters are there as well. So, you know, you can throw their grenades. There goes the grenades, the fire grenade, which then kind of allows you to cause damage. And you collect stickers. Again, these are just kudos stuff. It is important to note actually that once you've got a sticker, you can't get the same sticker again. So yeah, this is good fun. I think this is definitely worth watching. So if you've got an extra 10-15 minutes, watch through the Horde, and it really is very cooperative. There aren't many games that do Horde in the same way. I mean, Gears of War does Horde in a very similar way and rewards you for working cooperatively, and it's the same with this. It really is a really fun kind of game level to play, and it's the only part in the Zombie Army franchise that I'll play with randoms online, and there is an achievement actually for getting to level 20 with 4 of you, so if you are looking for that or a trophy, then do. Here are the suicide zombies as well. Again, just all the different types of zombies within the game will appear throughout the Horde mode, and it's a really good way of trying to check out your weapon loadout, see whether or not the weapon loadout that you have is effective or not, and especially in those corridor levels. So yeah, enjoy the Horde mode, and of course, if there's anything that you wanted to add, then please message us below or leave a comment, and do like and subscribe.
Try and get you back here.
You again.
Alright.
Sweet.
Grab some ammo quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. You need to grab some ammo.
I'm gonna put another grenade. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't have any more. I don't have any more grenades.
Oh crap! A giant guy's coming to the wall.
Oh, I see him.
Enormous. Grenades with him.
Too slow.
Yeah, he's down.
Go. ammo directly on that.
Yeah.
I love how we've seen enemies we've not actually met in the campaign yet. Kind of mini spoilers here. And we'll grab some ammo actually. Oh, the ammo crate is
It's gone, yeah, it's moved down here.
Level up. Hello. Lots of enemies. But some more guns there as well.
Oh, there's another
Watch
big
out,
guy
I got
here.
the metal crate.
Oh,
Damn
let's
it.
spin some in.
Armored giant.
I'm a giant. Good man.
He's down.
He's gone.
Low ammo.
Yeah, I've got. Oh, I'm not too bad actually.
Ammo
I'll kill
depleted.
them all.
I'm out of ammo.
Maybe the last one. You grab them out. You've murdered him. Straight up murdered him. And there's one left.
MP4, 54.
I've got a machine gun.
Supply drop here.
Ooh, this water's
Oh,
very
there's
slow
a Garand here, and
Get it
there's
off me.
health packs.
Yeah, this guy's throwing rubbish at us. Blew his face off.
Oh wow.
But there's ammo here. Throw your ammo.
Grenades
Oh,
here.
SMG full. Let's have some SMG action. I'm ready for that. I have to try and stay away from this water, I suspect. He might come to that door behind us, though. I'm gonna go to the other side, actually.
Armored giant spotted.
Oh, it's giant!
In the water.
Wow. Come back to the gate.
Yeah,
Pull
move
one
that.
through here. That's getting behind us at the minute. Where are these guys? Trying to get them.
Keep them coming.
Good work. Keep it up.
Keep an eye behind us. Ah, there's the water. Watch out.
So I'm playing.
Flag out.
Careful.
Oh, bloody guy.
Reloading. Reloading.
Put you back, baby.
Armored giant.
Oh, I was just going off.
I don't know what all of these. Hold on a second. Left and right. Oh, wow. Okay, so you
I'm
know
on low
those.
ammo.
I'm on low everything. You see on the bottom of your screen,
Yeah, it does.
you get to do like a power up.
Supply crate.
Get some ammo.
Here.
Commander's frenzying the horde.
Can try. So. Wow. One left. Blew his heart out. Shot through the heart. Cause you're
And you're
to
to
blame.
blame. You give me a bad name.
Give yourself a bad name, Tama. Give yourself a bad name.
Hold on, let me just reload all of my weapons.
Alright, I'll come back on the other side. Yeah, they're coming over that wall you were at. Have I got any readies?
Kill confirmed.
Stuff. Just at the bottom. Oh! Oh, watch out, the dude's there. Got a weird
Oh, wow.
on one right front here. Guys.
what happens now.
Watch out, man, the little weird ones again. Leave the last one alive.
Oh, sorry.
Did not. I just thought we could quickly get over to stuff.
We've got 8 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know what the things at the bottom are. I've got one on the left and one on the right, but I'm not quite sure what either of them means. Butcher. Baker. I don't think Maker.
Think you're tough, huh?
I'm just calling big fat guy. That's what it is. Oh, watch out. Penguin. Just stood right from me. New ammo crate, but watch out, man. Move back.
That's it.
I'm trying to roll. I can't
kill him regular.
roll. I got him.
There is
Look
no
what
roll.
I did.
There is no roll. Great brigade. Oh my god, it's actually
Stay down.
Yes, it is a buzzsaw, isn't it?
Oh, I'm gonna have ammo here. 5 bullets left.
I'm all out of ammo.
I'm out of ammo as well. Reloading. Yeah, I've got this.
Oh, I've still got. Oh, there's a couple of left. Reloading. There we go.
I found a supply crate.
How do I get to this ammo crate? Yeah, through here. Here we go. Don't like being in this dead end, I have to say. I think I'm going back out.
Yes. Let's see what
Commander.
guns there are here, though.
Quick, they're coming. Get back out of here. I'll come back to the main tunnel over there.
Picked
No,
up some
it's
rocket
not.
grenades. Oh,
That
shit!
must be destroyed.
There's a buzzsaw there, actually. Oh,
Yeah, that's that
That's more
guy.
like it.
There's rail.
I might just run over there and just buzzsaw. There's somebody firing skulls. The guy with the heart is firing skulls. He's down.
Watch out, man.
I'm heading back.
Now we're talking.
Back up. Mega one on top of
Looks like my training is paying off.
you. Let's get back next to you.
They're being butchered.
They are.
Oh wow, okay. Heading back now.
Shoot it off.
Back off.
Oh, behind us. Trying to roll away. There's no roll button.
Stop pressing roll when it doesn't exist.
Oh, I'm bleeding out.
Still want to get back up.
Tried.
The guy next to you is being revived. There you go.
You again.
You're not dead yet.
Oh, maybe I have to revive you then. Stop standing right next to the camera. The lunatic.
Oh my word.
Patching myself up.
Stop reviving. Low ammo. Oh, I've got like 6 bullets left, so this is gonna be fun.
Kumbaya.
That stupid hard guy again.
He's dead.
He's not. Still one alive.
Let's go get the ammo while we can.
Let that be.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, hold on a second. What's this? Ah, we could have done that.
What does he do? Grab the ammo.
Grabbed ammo.
Right, I'm gonna retreat back.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, what the hell? Blew up and damaged me. Screamer.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Head running. Oh, calm down.
Oh my word. Are you up?
Yeah. That's his second chance. LT and RB.
Armored giant
Yeah,
spot.
try it. It's a super mode. Do it on the big enemy. It's a super mode.
Wait, I've got something.
Screamer.
Oh, watch out. There's one of the police screamers behind us, man. I'm bleeding now.
Guess I'm on a roll. Oof. What happened to you? Stay calm. I've got you.
Oh, I'm bleeding out now. Oh, this is hard, man. This is getting hard, these waves.
I need 4 people. Oh, I can get
Maybe. For a first attempt, that wasn't too bad, I'd say.
you. Dead. Checkpoint reached. Yikes.
No kills. Best combo. That was good accuracy. Best shot. Yeah, just way better than you all round, really.
LOL.
Right, I'm going to stop broadcasting. I think that's enough for tonight. Thank you for watching, all of you that were, which is nobody. So yeah.